And I also talked about women who are unfit. It's over for them. And I said it too. If you have a kid, it's a wrap, because you got to realize that the men you want are in the top 5% of men, and they can go get, and they have access to, and women are actively shooting their shots. So what can you do? And then you want them to be monogamous? You're not monogamous. You bring us somebody else's kid. Here it is. Men with golden, I'm going to talk about this. Men with golden penis syndrome are ruining sex and dating for women. And this was written by a really lame blue pill dude. A lack of competition has led the men to develop golden penis syndrome. And arrogance stems from the assumption that there's a steady supply of females. See, this is a beta male who wrote this, who's jealous of men who have options. Because women choose the men that they want, and he's not one. So there's a plethora of men. The men up here have an unchanging supply of women. So how can you go in at 30 with a 10-year-old expecting a man up here and he's going to be loyal? That's a big ask. That's a big ask. Sex ratios among college-educated heterosexuals and singles is approximately 3 women to every 2 men. And then even in 1981 was the last time a 4-year colleges graduated more men than women. And then where was this? In New York City, 9 to 12% of men in that category identify as being gay or bi. So, what is it? Some 9 to 12% of Manhattan said they're gay. So basically what I'm saying is, you ladies, if you want these men who are up here, and you know, do you think you don't know what you have in your house that's of more value? If a man knows that he's socioeconomically, from a height standpoint or from a marketplace standpoint, he is more rare, how important is it to have a man like that? Or would the average man not do? Okay, well then you need to be ready to be part of a rotation. The best you can expect, I think a winning hand for you, if a high value man were to accept you as his wife, that man would likely have children, and he would still likely exercise options.
And that's been my experience. So.
Yeah, that's why people get mad at me. I'm like, this is what it is. Because he's like, well, I'll promote you to primary, but you know what it is. I got a kid over here, and I'm gonna be dicking down my baby mama from time to time. You got to understand that you can't have no parts of your baby daddy. And then you still got to live up to all the rules. No social media, cut off your single friends. You still got to live that life. He can do what he wants.
Right.
And you know, and women are like, that's not fair. There's no fair in this thing. You don't have to deal with men like that. You could choose to say, you know what, I'll get a guy that's making average income and I'll have all of myself, but that ain't what you want. So just be primary wife. And don't ask questions you don't want to answer to. Do you want to have any more kids?
Yes.
How many more?
2.
Then you better get to work on the sales proposition. What's the sales proposition? Date me because what? Because you got a 10-year-old, right?
Right.
So a 10-year-old, is his father taking care of his responsibility?
Yeah, he's a great father, great provider.
Still, I mean, I've been in that position too. Still. Y'all need to come up. This is a good conversation, but you gotta know the kind of man you're going after. Unless you're going after a man who's in his late 40s, 50s.
Mid-40s, early 40s.
Late 40s, 50s. Because those are the guys who tend to be like, fine. Mm. Yeah, we're like whatever. But if you mid-40, I mean, you're talking about income. A guy doesn't hit his financial stride till 45 to 55. So depending upon the kind of income you're talking about, he has to have time to get there. So okay, ladies understand something. To get a high value man, you're going to give up at least three things. To be a single woman with no children, you're going to give up three things. And for every ding you have on you in the sexual marketplace, you're going to give up one more thing. If you want a man who's a certain age, well, what you gonna give up to get him? Because that's the three things you're gonna have to already give. You got to give something to get that man. So what I'm ultimately saying is, if these men by the numbers are more rare than women who want them.
Right.
I'll give this example. It's kind of like if you've ever bought something on the open market, like watches and things like that. You can't go buy certain watches because there's just not enough of them. So they have a whole market to where the price is increased in the gray market. High value men are on the gray market and they're increasing in value. So I would suggest that a woman with a 10-year-old just come and say, look here, man, I know what it is. I'm going to be this Beyonce up in here. I'm with you. We got some ground rules. I cannot tolerate public embarrassment, any diseases or whatever. Here are the things I can't tolerate. Other than that, but if you break this, you break like public embarrassment, that kind of stuff, bringing home babies, diseases, you break this, I'm coming after you like Dr. Dre's ex-wife was coming after him. And you can't say shit. And most men will be like, because we understand rules. Because if he does something like that, that's reckless. It's dangerous to the family, it's dangerous to the brand, and he has to pay. But most men would say that's a fair deal. Now, here's the funny thing. Here's what you ladies need to understand. The older men get or the busier we get, the less we want to exercise these options. We barely got time to have sex with you. We want to go to bed. We want to go to sleep. A lot of times the options these guys are exercising, they're going over there for a mental release far more than sexual. She's providing a different girlfriend kind of experience, and you're providing a wife experience. You want to keep the kind of man you're talking about? Be his wife and his girlfriend. Not his wife and the mother of his child. Be his wife and his girlfriend. And it's a lot less than some chick can come do, because we as men, we don't want to get to know another chick. We don't want to get to answer her questions. You can actually win. And this is where women at your age should be outpacing younger women, because you should at least be wise enough to be like, all right, I got a kid. I know what it is. This is the deal. You should be able to kick younger women's ass. So I just gave you some real good game right there. If you're willing to be pragmatic, you can win. You can win. Because we, men who are at this level, are pragmatic more than anything else. They ain't trying to have sex with somebody new every day. You know how much STDs are out there? Dudes ain't trying to do all that. They ain't trying to do all that.